you doing?
Doing well. Welcome to the show, Sports and Hip Hop with DJ Mad Max. Charnita Horton joins me on the show here today. Mad Max Radio, Live 365, iHeartRadio, entrepreneur, investor, business coach, life coach, reality, up and coming reality personality here. So we're going to be seeing that as well. But welcome to the show. How's everything going? Because I think you're on a media tour right now.
Yes, it's going amazing. I just was at the Times Square walking down the street and I did a whole live and I was just talking about how I was just like gracing the streets, telling everybody about Charnita's work. I was just telling everybody I'm from Birmingham, Alabama. So this media tour is just amazing. It's going good. It's going good. I was busy yesterday, but it's going good.
How you liking the big city right now?
It's huge. Coming
Yeah.
from Birmingham, Alabama, I was like, it was the horns for me and the birds. I was, I was like, are they chasing me? But I realized they was minding their own business. It was just me.
I did want to take everything because I know you got the upcoming reality show, but I wanted to take things back to the beginning because you knew at an early age kind of what you wanted to do. But I think what sparked you early on was it was kind of interesting was that you kind of at first didn't know what you wanted to do, but you always knew that you were going to be a go-getter and be successful whatever you wanted to do.
Yes, I was to me considered the underdog. I really didn't have an idea when I went off to college. I was like, I don't know what my major is going to be. I wasn't the type to keep changing my major. I just went right into business management because I knew I wanted to be a boss. I was not. I knew that. I knew I wanted to be a boss. And when I didn't go into just changing my major, I said, let me just go right into management. And taking those classes, it taught me a lot. But you got to also realize my husband was selling chips, juice, and honey buns around high school, and he wanted to be a boss. So two entrepreneurs, we knew we wanted to be a boss. How about
Yeah.
that?
And it worked out because you guys met in high school and then you went to, I think it was Jacksonville State, right?
Yes, we went to school together, graduated together, left our jobs together June 2016. And you got to realize those boss moves, we had to kind of join forces to really have a communication with that from high school to, because we was dating since the age of 17. So we knew for a fact, I would say wanted to be a full-time entrepreneur was June 2016. Because you make a lot of little errors in the midst when you have your full-time job because you got this backup. But stepping out on our job June 2016, 6 months of savings, I think that's when it woke us up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's rare to see a husband and wife go into business together. And I did want to ask that because as the rhyme goes, this is business and it ain't personal. So how do you kind of keep the two lives separate?
I would say work-life balance. You got to understand I'm a wife because he wants my attention. Then he wants my attention in business. But it's when we're in the office with each other, is I wouldn't say this the most lovely dove, and I'm always on him. I'm talking business. Hey Jason, did you get this done? Hey, check your email. we don't take things personal. But when we get home, we have 3 kids. I mean, we just love him. Hey, give him some attention. Let's eat and hey, a new day. So we do really well, like, working together as a family and then separating that business.
What kind
Yeah.
of sparked, because you guys are working in corporate America in these companies, what kind of sparked you to just take that leap of faith and start in Smartaxx with his mother-in-law?
Well, she came to me for concerning her dream. I did not want to do taxes. Like I said, I was just kind of like, I'm gonna be an investor. I'm gonna invest in people. I didn't really know what I was gonna do. I was very young when she came to me, when 20 some years old. And when she came to me with her dream, said she been doing it already for like 10 years. She had a few clients, and I said, let's do it. And you got to understand, I had just got married, and I was battling with submission. So I was like, oh, let's do it. So I had already said I was going to do it without going to my husband. So I went to my husband. I said, hey, your mom got a dream and we need to do this. And he was like, yeah. Seeing his mama go through a divorce and kind of like they business ventures together, I think he was like, my mom and dad, I don't know. And I was like, well, I'm going to do it. Still not submitted. Terrible, terrible. And he was like, he came aboard because he's hesitant. He's an accountant, CPA. But when he came aboard, Miss Joanne said, you got to realize in this business, it's easy to profit. If you know what you're doing, you get your clientele. Even if we have 50 clients, we did enough to profit. And we did just that. It was her dream. And eventually they was telling me, you can start doing taxes. I came in as the HR of the company. So when I started doing taxes, oh man, they called me the GOAT in Birmingham. We got now over 4,000 clients. So
Wow.
yeah.
It's so important too when we look at small businesses, and if you want to start a new business, you always hear these stories that are just like, how do people fall into tax fraud, tax evasion? What are some of the best pieces of advice that you can give if you wanted to start a new business, or even for the small business out there that may be going through issues right now where they need to avoid those problems that are hopefully not ahead but could be?
Especially entrepreneurs having business. A lot of times people think because of you having this business, things not getting reported. Your business, once you register your EIN and your LLC, the government sees you. And I say, those radio, when the radio come on and they say, you in a tax situation, call these numbers, stop calling all these numbers, because a lot of times they put you in more debt. The best thing is to call an accountant, CPA, or tax professional, someone who's been doing it for a long time, that we don't work with the IRS or against them. We work in their guidelines, and we can get you a tax advocate that work with the IRS. A lot of these people that's out here telling you they can help you with all this, you in bad debt, the old child support, be careful, because a lot of times you can just go right into a company, a CPA, or a company that has an accountant and help you, sending letters and communicating with the IRS and getting you out of that debt. And a lot of times people don't even know you can get on a payment plan as low as $50 to $1,000 a month. It's just a matter of getting you out of that trouble. And I specialize in it. I actually love that part. I had somebody as high as $85,000 in child support that I cleared. Yeah, I love it. I just love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
And you always give the best advice out there, and try to help
Yeah.
people out of situations, and that's something that you always do in giving back. And you have other business ventures which interesting as well. I think a trucking company, a boutique, and you also
Yeah.
do some stuff with fashion, life coaching. So talk to me about some of those businesses, because we already know about the Smartaxx, but
Yeah.
talk to me about some of these other businesses. Let's shed some light on those.
So the trucking business my husband owns, Bella Rose Boutique, that is her legacy. And that is, it used to be where our old office is located. Now we done bought two buildings. One of the buildings we located maybe about 10 minutes away. It's her legacy. So it's suites in there where you have people that does nails, hair, braiding, and her legacy is built around her being a miracle. She was born early. Basically, you can do all things through Christ that strengthens you. So that's what is built behind that particular scripture. So she believes in everybody can do anything that they put their mind to. So that I'm a life coach and business coach.
Yeah.
So a life coach, people ask, what is that? It's basically trying to get you ahead. If you was to say, what is a life coach? What is their main goal? We have to get you back on track. That's a life coach. And the same thing in business, basically, you just reverse it and say, get your business ahead or get you back on track. And then my reality show, Charnita's World. Charnita's World, I want to say what that means is basically the transparency of my life, where I can basically tell you where I come from and where I've been and where I am now, to help the other people out here know how to, hey, make it easier. It is kind of like the quick version of my life. Hey, my struggles, my pain, how everything I went through. I'm telling you my transparency. So that's my reality. Basically my reality, and Nubian TV picked that reality show up, and I appreciate that. So I have that, Smartaxx, and always on my website, I'm a business, doing business consults and business credit. I'm a business credit specialist. So anything you can think of, but your one-stop shop in the basically concerning your business, LLC, your formations, the list goes on. I love it.
Yeah. And even during when the pandemic started, it was interesting reading your story. You were able to take advantage online with Smartaxx, because I always said it, the go-getters got ahead when the pandemic came because they had to adapt with ingenuity and finding new things where they can keep moving forward to where they were before the pandemic happened. But you were able to sustain and even turn it into a strong point for your company and go
Yeah.
online.
Yes, I'm a very solution based person. So when the pandemic hit, I I'm a tough girl, and definitely my husband. We went right into it. And actually we end up. It was actually one of the best points of our life on concerning business. A lot of deaths, but so through that pain, I still was able to keep all my employees focused, and help other people through the process, and do it legal, do everything right. All my clients just loved me at that time because it was so many calls, so many.
Pandemic is, and it's still going on out here. Very, like, you see people are still with wearing masks, and you hear that it's still going. It's crazy how it's still out here years later. And hopefully things eventually go away, but I think we're gonna have to live with it, unfortunately. But talk to me about generational wealth, because I think that's the most important thing, especially if you want to keep businesses within the family and just keep it going on, like a legacy for your family later on. What's the key really to sustaining and building generational wealth?
Generational wealth. My husband is a professional investor, and when he died, we're rich. When I die, he's rich. If both of us was to die, my children are taken care of because we started from the root. Even when it was in my womb, I was already creating. You got to realize it's so many different cultures out there, but do we really zoom in on our life insurance, our life policies, and being entrepreneurs? We don't have 401ks, so us having those brains and knowing that you can invest and do certain things in stocks and different things like that. And that JJ he can look at his stock moving up and down. We showing him. And Bella got a boutique that when she get older, she can go in and say, "This is my boutique." If she decide to shut the whole building down, I don't care. But right now, she has a legacy and she has wealth. And I, that right there speaks volumes to me. We are strong on generational wealth. We go to college. We don't know if these loans and stuff is still going to be available. It's changing. It's changing. So that's what we also teach our clients. And I wish more people in different cultures jump on board on truly the education on generational wealth, because it's more than just saying, I'm going to save this in the safe box. It's cash. But I'm gonna put this in the bank, but it's not moving. You get that statement in the mail and say it only moved up 0.1%, but no, it's time out for that. We got to really understand how to truly invest in our generational kids and their kids, and just let it grow.
Yeah. How was your birthday celebration? November 4th?
November the 4th, Scorpio. It was amazing. This
Yeah.
year, I celebrate every year. So I think it's just my sign. We are really extra Scorpios. And it was called Let's Talk Link Up. Normally it's called Entrepreneurs Let's Talk Link Up. It was called Let's Talk Link Up Charnita's edition. And so I was able to announce the reality show. Oh my gosh. After I announced it, I had so much fun after that. I think before I was just kind of like, then after that, it was a celebration. It was maybe about 300 some people was there. It was
Wow.
fun. We had, yeah, taco salad. We had a taco thing. Everybody was so happy because I said I want to celebrate in Birmingham first. I'm in New York now. I'm doing this. I want to definitely go around the world, but my foundation is Birmingham.
Yeah. And now, because you've been there for years and you've been helping people out, now that you're able to work with people from different cities and you're traveling all around, what do you feel is still the resources that you need to bring back to Birmingham to help the people out?
I want us to support each other. And like I said, I did a live on Facebook today, and I was just talking about resources, supporting each other, looking outside the box, your mindset, and thinking rich. So I think when I come back, I want to do a seminar for Birmingham, and after I learn everything, then let them know the process that I just went through, so they can understand how to get out of the box, just like I did. Because a media tour, you just don't wake up and say, "I'm going to New York and do this. I'm gonna go to Texas and I'm gonna talk to these people. They don't know me, By the time the reality show and everybody finna get on board, I'm probably fan base gonna go up. But hey, it's still that personal experience. Hey, she came to New York. I seen her. So that matters to me.
Yeah. No, that's important. And when's the air date? Can you reveal that yet? When's the air date for the
Yeah,
show?
November the 10th, the first episode, Nubian TV, is on all platforms concerning your TV. It's an app. November the 10th. I'm sorry, did I say the 10th? Okay.
Yeah.
10th at 8 p.m. Central standard time.
There you have it. So everyone will be able to see it. How does it feel to have all the cameras on in your life now? Because do you feel as though that I mean, it's always interesting when you look at it, because I feel as though people act a little bit. They still, because the camera's right there. You're never going to get what a person really is. I mean, you can, you have to catch them off guard, film them without knowing, which is pretty illegal
Yeah.
in some instances. But how does it feel? Do you feel as though that you have to like act, or still, like, does it change you in any way with cameras there?
Well, let's say this. I'm going to say this. Filming the reality show was one of the hardest things of my life. Okay, let's say that.
Yeah.
Now, I have been called a celebrity, but it's being called celebrity, but it's the feeling. People trying to, hey, Charnita, and I'm like, I'm Charnita, the girl that did your taxes, but it's different. But they still treat me the same way. But I say, people do see the cameras. When we was going around with the camera, they was like trying to get in or asking questions. It feels different. It don't change me, because I knew what I wanted, but I think it does change the people around you,
It
because
does.
they kind of like, this is different. Whether they want to jump on board, if I'm asking them, hey, you want to come on reality? So they like, oh, this wasn't my dream, but what I do, that's a lot for people, and it's shocking. And I just been in a space kind of in my cocoon. So it is hard sometimes, getting more people and you in the light is hard. So you have to rest. You have to rest your mind. So, because your dream can be somebody's biggest dream, and they, bringing them on the TV, they like, oh my gosh, even if it's on your platform, because you got to definitely separate what's for you and what's not for you.
Exactly. And just structure how you want it, because people,
Mhm.
they're going to perceive things all differently now, social media and all the stuff that's going on the internet today. It's crazy. So
Yeah.
on your way to New York, well, I got to ask you, what was your soundtrack on the way to New York? It's the birthplace of hip hop. What was on your playlist as you were taking the plane ride up here?
You want me to be honest?
Yeah.
I was listening to the intros of my reality show
Oh,
like 50 times. It was like, welcome to Charnita's world. And I was like, and I was like, that sounds good. Then I started listening to Cardi B. I am a Cardi B fan
Cardi
all
B.
day. Yes. A story. We're two separate women. We're on two separate paths. But you talking about her storyline, how she got to the top. I told you I love that struggle, and she's here and she's solution. And she too had to, when those cameras started going around her, they was like, oh, you got your teeth fixed now, Carter. You got this done. Oh, you think you all that. So that's what I got. I'm like, I got my teeth fixed, and so I relate to her so weirdly, but that's I love her.
Yeah, no, she definitely built from the ground up, and that's the thing. A lot of people today, they get famous also social media, and there's no foundation there, and
Mm-mm.
that's not the way to do it. You always got to build through struggle and build everything brick by brick.
Yeah, I agree.
And then I heard about this 11,000 square foot building. Is this? Yeah, I did hear about this.
Ooh, that's what the last I Lincoln was on the outside of that building, so they didn't it's not ready. But by March, we have a plan of execution. Man, it's gonna bring Birmingham a whole different light. They're gonna come in, they're gonna have a green screen. Things that I couldn't allow. The production team had to go outside the state to get the green screen. I want a helicopter shoot where you can go in and take pictures. It's gonna be a recording studio. If a dance team want to come in and rent out the space, it's gonna be a business center. It's gonna be an event center. It's gonna be a lounge. All in this space. It's huge. It's huge, and
Oh,
we purchased it. The
yeah.
Hortons purchased it on the
Yeah.
Horton prize. I mean, that's the two buildings I was telling you about. So I'm doing big things in the city. I would say the city, because I told you I support my city, and I'm moving. I think we can be bigger, bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah. And Horton Enterprises, you've described it as just an umbrella of
Hmm.
companies. Yeah. And we see what you've been able to achieve. And maybe if you do you plan on locating in different cities as well? Because I know you opened up a couple locations in Birmingham, but do you plan on opening buildings in other states?
You got to be careful when you start. I don't want to stretch myself too thin when you start doing that. Like, if somebody want to open up a tax business in another state, you got to get them trained. I do, but you at the same time, you don't want to stretch yourself so thin, because you're not being able to be there. You got to be able to have a manager or somebody there to be able to get it done. I'm successful with out just going to so many, having my buildings all over, each state. But my brand, I would love if my brand reached so many states. I can still do somebody's taxes virtually. I can still do a business consult virtually. It's that mindset and the way you think. You don't have to physically be there. It's basically how you structure your business to be able to still make money. We service people all over the United States. We
Yeah, I've
service
heard
people
that.
out of the
Yeah.
country.
Yeah, it's crazy. I believe it though. The success is there, the blueprint's there. I was curious because you know a lot of people in the business and just the industry. Is there anyone that shocked you who's reached out to you in the past for advice, or has done business with you that we may know of, we heard of?
Yes, I have met, man. In the last, I think, dealing with I have a manager now. She knows so many people. She put so many Harper. I mean, Melanie Cherie. She is the owner of Tilted Crowns Production. Who actually filmed my whole reality show, and also she have connection with Nubian TV. I met Arthur, the owner of Nubian TV. This man is huge. I met so many, oh gosh, celebrities. And I would say in the last 3 months, it's been amazing just being in the room. Sometimes, I mean, just somebody I just look up on the news. I'm like, oh, I seen you on Fox 6. I seen you, and they just all around me. It's starting to, I'm not starstruck or anything. It's like a normalcy now. And they coming to me, hey, and I'm like, hey.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was shocking. So just as much as when people see me and I'm seeing other people, it's different. You've
Yeah.
been in a room with so many people. I mean, I just talked to somebody on the phone, finna run for president. Hey, how you doing, Charnita Horton? Is there any way you're gonna? I can maybe come down to Birmingham to one of your buildings. Hey, dude, you finna run for president? You want to
Yeah.
come to my building? It's just wow. That's what I've been getting lately.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I believe it.
mhm.
Yeah. So, Charnita, what else do you have on the way that we didn't discuss as far as upcoming things that you're working on and ventures into the new year, even for next year that you can announce? Because we know the reality show November 10th. That's the air date, Nubian TV. What are some
Yeah.
other things that you want to announce that you can?
Well, basically, I've been so excited. I'm finna get ready to teach a tax class, and these people have been on this waiting list, and this waiting list is way too big. I'm only selecting over maybe about 20 to 30 people. 600 and some people registered for this class,
Wow.
and I'm finna teach them. So this finna be a very, very personal experience. Now, my Zoom virtual class is going to be more people, but I'm really going to be connected to that personal class, because you got to realize these particular people I selected, I know they want to be bosses just like me. And that's what I was telling you about. That's my favorite thing to do. It's just to get really personal. So that's coming up. Taxes. They finna be in my office. I'm gonna still be in the office. Um, Taxes coming up.
Yeah.
And us getting through this holiday, it's gonna be fun. The holidays is fun for some, it's sad for others. I'm always speaking encouragement through that process. But in the midst of all this, we're gonna still be getting that building ready. So I'm still planning that out. So it's gonna be a lot. I think it's gonna be a big shift. Just so many avenues going on. I don't have one particular thing.
Yeah. The impact is definitely going to be felt down in Birmingham with this new building. It's just everything that you've done already. The impact is felt.
Yeah.
Anita, is there
I,
anything else? Anything
Not
else you want
now.
to mention today?
Man, no. This has been great. I appreciate it.
Of course. And you're always welcome on the show. Thank you to Yvonne for setting this up, and thank you for everything and all that you do. I'm looking forward to seeing the upcoming reality show and all the ventures that you have on the way.
Thank you so much. And
Of
thank you for
course.
bringing on Charnita's World.
Of course. And let them know where they can follow you on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all the platforms that you have.
So Facebook is the same thing. It's consistent. Charnita Horton World. If you put that in, CharnitaHorton World. You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. I'm pretty YouTube. You follow that, and charnitasworld.com, and CharnitaSWRLD.com.
And there you have it. And before we go, because you're so important, you offer great advice. Have you thought about, we can end on this, creating your own guide for people, your own book? Have you thought about that?
How about the last Zoom? Y'all just want to just spill the juices. I have already been wrote a book. I
Oh,
just got to
wow.
produce. Yes, it's called The Blueprint A through Z of Entrepreneurship. It's basically my blueprint of how I became an entrepreneurship. It's just a quicker version.
Wow. So there you go. You got the guide right there. Go purchase this. And they can buy this on like Amazon, stuff like
Yeah,
that.
it's
All the
be released by July of next year. I wanted to
okay.
put it in at the right time to make sure my editors it's all in their hands right now, getting it right. So I need a little time.
Yeah.
July of next year.
We'll be looking forward to it. That's important. And Charnita, thanks again. Anytime.
All right.
Congratulations on the show and everything that you've accomplished and everything that's on the way for you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too.
Yeah. Bye bye.